Heavy or not, number 104 goes to Israel and gets heavy with data with Addy and Orca Vision.
I'm in Israel, but OrcaVision is incorporated both in Israel and the US. The idea of OrcaVision started a bit over 2 years ago, but it took a while to develop, about almost 2 years, the technology. So we just came out at the beginning of really this year. We just started selling some beta version, and now we are in the mode when we start scaling, and we have more customers coming in. But this is just the moment is right now. But a lot of very strong players already know us, and big federations are reaching out to us. I used to be a professional swimmer too. So I swam in the college system, and now I'm the chairwoman of the biggest club in Israel, and I had 7 guys at the Olympic Games in Paris. But my background is computer science and mathematics. My grad school I studied in Columbia University. And my co-founder is a way better mathematician than I am. And so do the other guys work with us. They're brilliant guys. We sort of just happened to be swimming geeks, but we're coming, they left their fancy jobs at Google and Microsoft, and we left everything to do this. It's not just the analytics part of it, right? I mean, it's just the fact that swimming is sports, it's really missing engagement. It's really weak on engagement, and a lot of kids are losing the sports and leaving the sports, and parents kind of leaving left out. I mean, it's a very expensive sport, costs a lot, but the parents are not very engaged. You don't really know your kid is progressing, not progressing. You only know the final time. That way you know in swimming. So there's no story there. I feel like taking ownership of the data and having data available to everyone. And with the videos and knowing benchmarks and what's a talented kid, what is a talented 12 years old, like nobody knows. You just don't have this data. Everyone is collecting their own Excel thing. It's like the last really popular sports that has no data. Everyone is doing their own Excels. Nothing is you don't have any data sources with data. Nobody's really collecting it. It's manual work, takes forever to collect data in swimming. People like, Russell or these guys, I mean, instead of actually helping swimmers get better, 70% of the times they're doing data extraction from swimming. So we came to change that. And also being able to extract data at scale in real time can also serve as broadcasting. If you look at broadcasting in swimming, like we're supposed to pilot with Eurosport this summer. Eurosport is under Warner Media. They reached out to us and they say, I mean, we have nothing to say about swimming in broadcast. I mean, you just know who got first, who got second. You have no idea there's no story there. So being able to break every race and every swimmer to like skills, right? Like who has the best, underwater, who's to the 15, who has, the most efficient stroke, who lost speed towards the turn, who did better turns. I mean, who had the fastest, like maybe surface speeds, like who lost more speeds on the break. I mean, there's so many parameters you can calculate once you turn into, computer vision. And we're collecting between 20 to 40 data points every second of the video for every swimmer. This is how much data we're sitting on.
So repeat that, because that was hard to get my head around. 20 to 40 data
points every second of the video for every swimmer.
In 8 lanes or 10 lanes.
8 or 10, whatever you have. Yeah.
With how many sources? Like cameras?
Just if it's 25 meter or yards, just one. And if it's 50 meters, we use 2. Really, I mean, the idea, also was to make it not too complicated, right? I don't want to install 9 cameras around the pool. Nobody's going to install it. But if you put 1 camera, that's easy, right? We come, actually our integrator come, install it, takes an hour maybe. We calibrate it remotely, that's it, you're ready to go. So the ease of use here was extremely important. And another thing is that on the same system that installed for the racing, we actually do training. So we have Orca Vision Train as well, which is another product, but using the same infrastructure, right? Think about having a GPS and accelerometer on the entire pool. This is what we have. This allows us to do some very, very sophisticated clinic-based Orca train stuff. We can determine exactly your inner cycle speeds. I can know how much percentage of your speed you lost on the breakout. And we've seen so much data already. I can go, I mean, I've seen even the SEC, we analyze the entire SEC because we're installed at the University of Tennessee. I've seen top swimmers, I mean, world records, like, you know, swimmers losing 30% on the breakout. This is not good because, you know, others are working on it, they're losing 12 to 13% on the breakout. And you see these top swimmers, they just don't know. And even the best coach in the world does not know how to tell 0.2 of a second in his eyes. He just doesn't. So he can tell you like, okay, try to correct this and do this. Okay, it might work, it might doesn't. But he only knows the final time. But could be actually the part that he worked on wasn't faster. So being able to have the entire picture here, it's like it's a real game changer. And also being able to use it in training and in competition, like when you have the same system, comparing apples to apples, it's pretty amazing. And just I'll throw some numbers just from the beginning of the year, from the installation we have so far. We've analyzed over 25,000 races. I don't think in the world in the last 20 years you have 25,000 races analyzed. And this is just the very beginning. So this, we're talking about like masses of data and really can transform this sport, like, you know, from so many levels. And I didn't even talk about coaches education yet, which is like super important piece here. This is like one of the, you know, the most important section in my opinion, because data is great and parents are smart too. Sometimes they're smarter than coaches, but eventually you want coaches to get better and understand. Some of them, even, you know, very strong coaches can get intimidated by all this data. So like, okay, what do I do with this now? So I think education is extremely important. And I think this tool can actually help educate a lot of coaches as well. Once, you know, we get all the infrastructure right, and we already connected with very strong educator in the sport.
Who's that?
And a lot of top coaches like knows about us. I mean, as I said, Matt Credich, but, you know,
yeah,
David Marsh is on, and Dev Styler knows about us, and Sonia Porter, she was the technical director for Singapore, and she's a great educator. And the list goes on and on. So we have like really top coaches on top of it in Europe as well, not just in the US. But I feel this can really sort of put everything together, you know, parents, coaches, swimmers, broadcasters, like educator, like all sort of on the same infrastructure, and learning so much from it and improve the sports eventually, right? This is what we came to do. We love the sport.
Where do you have some installs? Where have you gotten those 25,000 races from? You know,
I have few competition in Tennessee, actually. This was the first pool we installed in the US. We have a couple more orders in the US. I'm not sure I'm going to say the names yet because we're in the middle of signing a contract, but I have 8 more D1, like top NCAA, top 20 schools. And I'm going to add more. I mean, as I said, we just started. I have a few clubs in Europe. I have in Southeast Asia. I have in Singapore 2 systems. 4 big NGBs federations that order a few systems. I'm not sure if I can say the names yet.
Once they install, they can't move, right? Or they just sort of stay at that?
So once the cameras are installed, so again, we have a few things. So yeah, it should be mounted. I mean, we came to the TYR Pro, USA Swimming invited us, so we mounted it temporary. But the idea is to be permanent, and then you calibrate it once and you don't have to touch it. You can use it for training and for racing. This is the goal of it. But I'll tell you another thing we're developing right now. We're going to have capabilities of doing things in penning. So you're going to be able to use your iPhone and pen over a swimmer. It's not going to be the 10 lanes at a time, but we're adding this feature where you'll be able to extract data automatically just from penning over a swimmer, which is great maybe for kids and for places where where Orca won't be installed. So this is going to replace that. But yeah, the idea is to be able to compare yourself against yourself and your competitors, right, over time. You want to know how much you improve, not just compared to yourself, compared to others as well. And having so much data allow us to do benchmarking. So I can tell you, okay, maybe your 15-year-old in this region, but just so you know, I mean, the top 15 years old in the world are actually here, and you're here. So, you know, once you have so much data, you can start doing this kind of thing. So all the tools out there, they exist. I mean, you take the video and then you have to manually like tag and have like stroke. We have zero tagging. We don't do that. We use pure computer vision, mathematics, and physics to automatically extract those matrices. So you don't have to do the tagging. So this is the major difference here, is just the automation part of it and also the accuracy. I mean, we've tested against so many benchmark and manual benchmarks, and there's no, actually, we haven't seen any human that does it better. So we're very, very, very confident at this point that we're extremely, extremely accurate.
And the IM and everything, right?
Everything.
The data goes from the camera to a local PC.
No. It doesn't go to local PC. No. The camera, first of all, on device itself, we can do some of the processing we do on device, and some we stream to the cloud. So as soon as the race starts, we start analyzing while the race is going. So the race starts, we stream to the cameras, we stream, from the camera, it streams to the cloud. Okay. We do the analysis, then it updates our dashboard. We have live dashboard. So think about it. You have a race and the swimmer is not even, maybe didn't even walk over to you, and you have all the results in an iPad. The entire race. So it takes, a few minutes, everything is out. And, if you think about short races is one thing, but think about like if 1650 or 1500, who is analyzing those? So once you have this automated, or the 400s, even 200, it takes so much time to analyze those manually. It's a terrible job. There's a lot of mistakes there. Just from the idea that every lens is distorted, all the manual tools don't take into consideration distortion. So just to begin with that, you have a lot of places where you can actually have mistakes in the measurements that you extract. Just from the fact that you don't take into account distortion, and none of them actually do. Some of them, they can count buoys, they do all kind of things. I mean, things are pretty cool tools, but I mean, in terms of accuracy and speed and scalability, right? There's nothing really to compare there.
Well, then how does your Orca know that the guy in heat 3, lane 3 is Sally or whatever?
Okay. So in competition, it's easy. We sit on the same network as the timing system. So wherever you have actually a board where you can see the results, we get the same feed. So that easy. We just know who is who. And what we've developed as well, where you can actually run Orca race in training. Let's say you do race pace training. Okay. So in your team, it's either right now, I mean, as I said, the Orca train is still in development. But right now, you know who you are, which team, which swimmers you have, so you can actually choose them and place them inside the app. But we're actually planning something automatic, very, very cool. But I can't say it yet because it's our proprietary thing, and I don't want to be out yet. But we're planning something extremely cool, but it actually will know who is who just from the cameras. So it's coming up very soon.
Maybe something.
I can't tell you everything yet.
Okay. We're going to wear a barcode on their cheek.
Well, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think the technology is pretty amazing. And think about, another use case we thought for it could be VAR in swimming. There's not really VAR in swimming. So you have referees standing in the 15-meter line and saying like maybe who crossed the line. But we know exactly where the line is. They don't really. So this could be another use case, for VAR, for example, and we can also be a timing system places where they don't have touchpads, because we recognize the swimmer, every little, centimeter, so we can figure out where he touched the wall. So that's another use case eventually that we're working on, and maybe replacing all the volunteers that come and have to take time in all the small leagues that you have. easily. Soon we're going to replace those as well. And instead of writing things writing things on paper and then have to go to another system to type them in, you can just do it automatic. You don't need this for it. So this is sort of like
We had a wonderful conversation with Addie from Israel, and this is only the front part of it. I want you to go now to the YouTube station for Heavy or Not, or else the Facebook for the International Swim Coaches Association, and watch the rest of the video. The links will be in the show notes. We also have the full transcript. Just for clarity, there's a lot of talk about Orca. So the International Swim Coaches Association has the Orca Awards, which just launched in 2026. Also launching in 2026 in the marketplace is Addie's company, OrcaVision.company, OrcaVision.company, COMPANY, and that'll take you to her website. Thanks for being a guest, and thanks for subscribing to the podcast, Heavy or Not.